I fought for everything that I've ever gotten in this world, including this DCW Heavyweight Championship. Manny Lemons, shame on you. You can't step in the square circle with me and beat me.
Steel slams her down into the mat. Rekka lifts the demonstrative steel onto her shoulders into a Samoan drop. 2. That's it, folks.
Brother Austin, those who keep the commandments and keep the faith.
The core championship.
The faith. This is not a wrestling match. It is a religious war.
Appear in public for the very first time. We've seen 2 of these masks before, Echo and Monster 9. Who is this ringleader that is at the front of Antifa? It's Andrew Sowell.
We don't need your boos because we've seen what you cheer for. A bunch of war-mongering jerks.
Roman Roselle comes out to confront Antifa. The mercenary is in the ring with a chair. The devoted faithful rallying around the Grunt-style stable, putting Antifa in their place.
You think you're better than me? 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 And next week, crazy like crazy, and crazy is gonna get crazy.
Sunday morning in Salt Lake City means wrestling at the Gateway. Hello, folks. Lauren Gardner here, the Cicerone, and welcome to this episode of Devotion Championship Wrestling. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, especially with one of Santa's helpers ringside. After publicly revealing themselves for the first time just last week, 2 members of Antifa, Echo and Monster 9, will be going up against William Cutting and Josh Glade. Will the power of Glade's doll be enough to stop the guerrilla tactics of Antifa? If the enemy of my enemy is my friend, then we have 2 teams tonight of potential friends as Manny Lemons and Chango go up against their respective foes, Tom Chad and Porter Blake, in our main event Battle of Frenemies. But first, in our opening bout, the return of Mean Mike sees the DCW television debut of Mr. Happy. And that match starts right now. Our official kid ref has called for the bell. It is sounded, and we are underway on this episode of Devotion Championship Wrestling. Mr. Happy starting things off, putting Mean Mike down on the ground, pulls him back up, and an overhand strike to the glabella puts Mean Mike back on the ropes. But Mr. Happy is just getting started with repeated strikes to the temporal bone, but Mean Mike able to block the barrage and delivers multiple roundhouses of his own. Mr. Happy up to his feet and put back down with yet another roundhouse. Lines up and employs a lariat, but the human hoppity-hop that is Mr. Happy doesn't stay down for long, seeking a respite in the corner, in the ropes. Mean Mike in pursuit, despite Mr. Happy's audible protests. Official kid ref making sure that Mr. Happy does have a chance to get out of the ropes. Mean Mike, keeping his ring control, goes right in, pushing Mr. Happy into the corner. Oh, Mr. Happy gouging, putting a thumb right into the eye of Mean Mike. And again, right back to those strikes to the glabella. Mr. Happy literally pulling Mean Mike from off of his feet and immediately attacks the left leg of Mean Mike. And you can hear Mr. Happy claiming that these body parts of Mean Mike's are now the property of the twisted Mr. Happy. Happy now looking as if he wants to set up what he calls pulling taffy. Doesn't get it in, instead choosing to continue the attack on Mean Mike's left leg. Happy, who claims to do it all for the laughs, now pulling as if it were stretched taffy Mean Mike's leg. But bending over to do so put him in position to get kicked right in the forehead, putting him supine and perhaps giving Mean Mike a chance to get back to his feet and regroup. Mean Mike, who we have not seen since he was viciously attacked by Filter in the DCW locker room months ago. And at this point, Mr. Happy is more than happy to, knock the ring dust out of the head, the cobwebs that might be still left within Mean Mike, to Mean Mike a veteran of the game for so long, the muscle memory just kicks in. There it's shown again. He is knowing that this is his last chance if he is going to survive any longer in this bout.
Out of the corner! One! That sucked!
In any other context, the high-pitched rasp of Mr. Happy could seem comical, but in the context of the brawl in which these two are engaged, it's anything but. With a lariat, Mean Mike is looking to continue this momentum, comes off of the ropes. Mr. Happy moves and Mean Mike overshoots the target, landing square on his back. Happy goes for the pin, and Mike is determined to stay in this fight, independent of the cost that his body is paying. Mr. Happy now putting Mike into the corner, as if taxiing him onto the runway, throws him across the ring, and follows in pursuit, but nobody's home but a chest full of turnbuckle. This allows Mike to come in and deliver another running lariat. And while Happy is in the corner, Mike looking to deliver his touche finale, a running knee into the temporal bone of Happy. Mike is feeling good about his odds right now. He is set up across the ring, going for his finishing sick kick to put a fine point on this match, but Mr. Happy sees it coming, dodges out of the way, and Mean Mike is left on his own posterior. Happy now sets up Mean Mike, says it's time to go, and delivers the big top drop. Pulls him back into a pin. That's it, folks. Mr. Happy pulls out the W in his DCW television debut. I said earlier that he does it for the laughs, and for this twisted Mr. Happy, he doesn't find anything funnier than his opponents flopping around after he's won. Earlier today, in anticipation of our next match, we caught up with the man who holds the power, William Cutting, and his subordinate, Josh Glade.
Do you see what you did? Do you see what you did? Because of you, now we have a match with that Antifa, whoever the hell they are. This is your fault. I'm so sick and tired of you, Glade. You don't even... Hey, you know what? I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna burn your stupid little doll. Is that what you want? Yeah? Right there. This is your last... What, you're crying? You're crying? Cry, scream, bark if you have to, because you are nothing but a big, stupid dog. You don't even think about tagging me in. You don't even think about touching me. You go in there, you take care of business, we leave. If not, I'll burn your doll and I'll piss on the ashes. Final warning. Capiche?
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 535 pounds, Josh Glade and William Cutting.
A few weeks ago, William Cutting won a singles competition against Lola due to disqualification. Thus, he stole back the doll. Lola was disqualified because Glade had had enough and stepped in to back Lola up. As always, make sure to follow your favorite DCW athletes on social media. We have William Cutting there, and apparently when the production assistant went to ask Josh Glade what his preferred social media account was, his response was just facebook.com.
And their opponents, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, the Mockingbird Go Boost sign, Monster 9, Antifa.
For weeks, this group known as Antifa was attacking Grunt-style stable behind the scenes here at DCW. Last week, they made themselves known publicly. Echo, Monster 9, and apparently their leader, Andrew Sowell. It will be Echo and Monster 9 in the match tonight. It's the first time we've seen Antifa in sanctioned action. And if the footage we recorded earlier today is to be believed, I don't think William Cutting will be playing much of a part in the match at all. due to our fantastic production crew, we have a chance here. Let's listen in on both teams as they're preparing for the match.
You're going to hurt them both. You understand me? You understand me? All right? You do that, you get this, okay? Go get it! Shut up!
You don't silence us! We silence you!
He's gonna silence you! All three!
If you hurt them both, you will get the doll. Instructions from Cutting. Our official referee, Ian, has called for the bell. It has sounded, and we are on our way. Echo, who in the past we've seen as humbly confident, but now just confident, quickly learns what it's like to go against a Josh Glade, who is fighting for, to him, the most important thing in the world, time with his doll. Off the ropes and put back in his place a second time. He's looking for a swap. And in comes Monster 9. This is a matchup that people have wanted to see. I've seen it posted on social media. Let's see the two big men go at it. Well, we're getting it right here. Collar and elbow tie-up from Monster 9 and Josh Glade. Glade having a bit of a reach advantage in this case, but Monster 9, a veteran in lucha libre and professional wrestling, he is not one to sleep on in the least. Ref Ian breaks the two apart, and Echo uses that chance to give Josh Glade some payback. Monster 9, who has spent many years as a specialist in trios and tag teams, is going to try and use this momentum now that he has created along with Echo, and throws Glade back into the corner again, albeit that Antifa is an apparently new team with both Echo and Monster 9. They are showing some very, very well-constructed continuity between the two of them. But is that continuity going to match up against Josh Glade's sheer power? Tag is made and Monster 9 comes back in. Josh Glade wanting to tag Cutting refusing to do so. Glade, who has not had a tag out in the match thus far. Oh, goodness. Shades of Street Fighter Sagat Tiger knee crush. And now, continuing with an inverted mandible claw, he's got to be crushing the soft palate of Josh Glade. Since his debut here at DCW, we've known that Monster 9 is a formidable opponent, but perhaps in Antifa, we are seeing what he is truly capable of, and it is frightening. Throws Glade back into the corner again. Tag is made, and Echo comes back into play. Monster 9 looking to make use of his 5 count while Echo sets up with a top shelf double knee cannonball. Echo showing how confident he feels, and I'll be honest, it's pretty damn impressive. And while their tactics might not be honorable, they seem to be working very well for Antifa right now, as Josh Glade has spent much of this match in their corner, being subjected to their aberrant style. Monster 9 looking to finish things with a DDT. Goes for the pin. One. I will never understand these guys with their cocky attitudes. And it's not just Antifa, it's Sam Adonis. It's, all the guys that think they're all that, and they like doing those false pins just to pull it back up. But regardless of what you think of Antifa, an assisted lawn dart to the chest of Josh Glade, you gotta stand up and take notice. That is incredible. Echo goes for a pin, but is pressed into the air and slams down on his face. The sheer power of Josh Glade continued to be spotlighted in this match. For what has amounted to essentially a handicap match for Josh Glade, he continues to show his mettle, to show what that doll means to him as he struggles and still puts up a fight against Antifa. William Cutting continuing to bark orders at Josh Glade to not quit, to continue going. But without any sort of support, any tag, anything from William Cutting, I just don't think that he will be capable of continuing on throughout this match. Monster 9 has been tagged in, stalking Josh Glade. Surely at this point, he no longer wants to just make a point, but finish this once and for all. pressing his boot into the throat of Josh Glade. Andrew Sowell has wandered over and is now antagonizing William Cutting.
Shut up, Hart! You don't talk to fashion!
Sowell continuing his bizarre rhetoric. But Roman Rosell comes out with the stars and stripes, using the flagpole as Donatello uses a bow staff, and the Grunt Style Stable is here in force as Derek Pizzatoro puts Monster 9 down with a steel chair and chases Echo out of the ring. I think Antifa has definitely pulled the tail of this tiger against two men who definitely know how to combat guerrilla warfare. The devoted faithful happy as always to see the Grunt Style Stable, but perhaps none as happy as is Josh Glade, who is the true benefactor of Grunt Style Stable coming out into the ring. Folks, stay tuned because our main event is coming up next.
Its intensity may be more than some wish to be exposed to, and those people should be forewarned.
Welcome back. It is time for our main event. Manny Lemons and Chango go up against their respective tag team, or at least former tag team partners, Tom Chad and Porter Blake. Over 2020, we saw Manny Lemons and Tom Chad go from BFFs in the Citrus Express to hard-hitting rivals and competitors challenging each other for the DCW Championship. On top of that, we've also seen Porter Blake and Chango, who were once stablemates together with Rocky Mountain Crow, tried to best each other time and time again as the most technically sound, hardest hitting, best all-around wrestler in the locker room. Both of these feuds colliding together tonight in this tag team match, which is underway. Our Commandant of Officials, referee Dewey Larson, has called for the bell. It has sounded. It is now time to go. But in classic Tom Chad fashion, he's got something to say, but Chango, in his classic fashion, speaks louder with his actions, albeit his words extremely loud as well. Regardless, Tom Chad is upset because he feels that he deserves to go up against Manny Lemons. Porter Blake obliges that request, steps in to take on his former stablemate, Chango. These two, both extremely technically sound, as I mentioned before, but both have very different and unique styles. We're always happy, at least I am as a student of the game, to see these two always engaged in a battle of what you can do, I can do better. Porter Blake goes switch and is able to wrap his claws around a sit-out. Chango, who was never one to give up back position, is able to reverse it, goes into a jackknife pin, 2, kicks out at 2, and the 2 continue as if there was no hiccup in the match at all. Blake, who's looking to regain position, goes to a sprawled crossface. Chango counters, sits out, reverses, and sets up an armbar, and is in shoulder control at this point. Porter Blake trying to get to his feet. Chango, all the while, maintaining that control over the upper body, and again twists it out, wrenching on that shoulder. A tag is made, and in comes Manny Lemons. Is Manny gonna charge after Tom Chad? No, he's not. Give you one for flinching, and down goes Porter Blake to a knee. I tell you folks, there is no one that is more on point than when Manny Lemons has got the DCW devoted faithful behind him. However, being distracted by Tom Chad allowed Porter Blake to come in with a pump kick and put the king of the lemonade stand down, who is now feeling the wrath. Oh, come on, a speed race. Come on. That's ridiculous. Come on. Dewey is only one man, arguably the best ref in all of professional wrestling, and he has to deal with crap like that. Come on. Frustrating as it is for a professional like myself, it comes at no surprise, and in fact, could even be expected in each and every match that includes Tom Chad. It is his modus operandi. Right now, a tag is made, Porter Blake comes in, and of course, Tom Chad is going to make more than ample use of his 5 count, as Porter Blake makes use of his claw style with a palm strike to the rib cage of Manny Lemons. Blake, who holds a black belt in TKD and is now honing his own style, that of the Zuren, he has got Manny Lemons in an extremely vulnerable spot right now. Manny doing what he can to trade blows with the claw style master, but instead, oh goodness, a lightning fast snap suplex from Porter Blake puts Manny back into this extreme case of vulnerability. And at this point, what Manny needs more than anything is help from Chango. A tag is what Manny needs if the Chango Lemons team plans on continuing, as he's receiving headbutt after headbutt from Porter Blake. Tom Chad tags himself in, now going to the top rope. What is the big man got planned? Double axe chop off of the top rope, and a punch-drunk Manny Lemons is down on his back. Tom Chad, smelling blood in the water, delivers a stiff knee to the side of Manny's head. And at this point, with the Blake-Chad team so far at advantage, if I were them, the smart thing to do would be to seal the deal and go for the pin. However, we've seen time after time again that intelligence and Tom Chad seem to be at odds with each other. Manny digs deep into his reserves to strike back, and Tom Chad using his mitt to do further damage to the already ringing head of Manny. And Tom Chad now biting the ear of Manny Lemons, while the official was directing traffic outside of the ring as Porter Blake and Chango are taking their fight to an extracurricular level. Manny goes for the tag, but Chango's not home. Seeking to rectify his mistake, Tom Chad runs in and delivers a boot to the side of Chango's head. Manny Lemons pulled up to his feet, and Tom Chad, still targeting Manny's head, delivers a headbutt, and shaking off any residual effect it had on him, drags Manny Lemons to his own corner, tagging in Porter Blake. And with Thanksgiving being in our rearview mirror, these two are still looking for the wishbone, and Manny Lemons is feeling the effect. Go for the cover. Manny able to kick out. Porter Blake not happy about that. Gets into a full mount and starts grounding and pounding. That again already targeted at a vulnerable head of Manny Lemons. I'm telling you right now, folks, I've done this long enough. I know that there is no way that Manny can win this match. But he can keep from losing it. More than ever, he needs a tag from his partner, Chango. If Lemons can just dig deep and pull from the power of his home crowd and get a tag, get out of that corner, and get some fresh blood into this match, the team still has a chance. However, Porter and Chad have different plans. The last time Manny Lemons and Tom Chad went at it in the squared circle, Tom Chad was able to deliver an elevated guillotine leg drop. But I think Tom Chad's eyes are bigger than his stomach as Chango shakes the pineapple out of the tree. Meanwhile, Porter Blake has realized his compatriot's folly and is trying to keep Manny Lemons from getting a tag. This is it, folks. It all comes down to this. I mentioned earlier that Manny may not be able to win it, but he can stop from losing it. And it all rests on him getting this tag with his partner, Chango. Seeing that Manny is close to getting the tag, Porter Blake comes in to intervene. He blocks. There is no tag. Dewey says there's no tag. Chango pulls Blake out of the ring by the neck. The tag is made. In comes Chango and spears Tom Chad. Ever the showman, Chango's gonna call for it. Clothesline.
Cut. Take two. Not big enough.
Not big enough, says Chango. Calls for his line. Clothesline. He says there's one more, but Porter Blake is waiting in the wings. Manny steps in, delivers a boot, puts Blake into a fireman carry, and delivers a liver drop. Chango and Chad steal the legal man. Tom Chad is completely knocked out. He goes for the pin. That's it, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Manny Lemons and the Mad Showman, Chango S.
It is said the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And as the immortal Rick Blaine said in Casablanca, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us here at DCW. And as always, I'm the Cicerone, Lauren Gardner. Until next time, stay devoted.
Now I will kill you.